What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and it's Japanese Tuesday. Hopefully, you guys are ready for seeing what Japanese has for us in store. Shall we get into the video and talk about it? I think so. So, guys, first off, let's get into it. Remember, guys, I use the information from this website right here, known as Digimon CG Guide, to build my data and give you the information as accurate as I can. They use everything from Twitter, which is usually a good calling point, shall we say. But let's get into it. We're now at 240 decks. That's crazy for the EX4 meta. Well, it's Rising Wind now a little bit, but they just combined the two because they're not. Rising Wind only just introduced Gammamon, the Jellymon, and Angoramon stuff. And surprisingly, Jelly and Angora hasn't really shown any results yet. And that's just data that we have. But Beelzemon took lead here, took point. We're at 60 Beelzemons now. And then Black War Greymon at 42 decks. But let's see what the percentile is. We're almost at 20% Beelzemon. That's really interesting to see. Then we have, the War Greymon tribal stuff. Then you have Hunters at 8%, looking at 24. Blue Flare at 23 and at a 7.6%. Then you have Bloom Hydra slowly coming up on the lead by 5.3%. Then Red Hybrid at 5%. Megidramon at 4.3%. Alter S Jogris is at 4%. All Fours Vidramon coming in at 3%. So, knowing from last week, data that we had a lot of shift. All Fours came out of nowhere. It was like at 3 decks last week. Now it's at 9. That's really good to see. Machinedramon's at 13. Going up. We're just seeing a lot of good climbs. Even Shine Greymon got 3 more tops. Gallantmon got 3 more tops. That's really good. And then Seriousmon, aka Gammamon deck, is at 7 tops already. And we have a lot to talk about. So let's get into that as well. Seeing at 240 decks, and we're not even in the new BT 14 meta. So let's see what happens there. Just kidding. BT 12. This first deck we're going to take a look at, though, is actually a deck that's kind of just sneaking in. Megidramon. So what does this do? It took, if we take the translate, this resulted from Tamer Battle held today. The winner was this guy. Thank you for participating in the Magic Bullet Cup. Participating Tamer Battle for a long time. So not bad. Definitely not bad. So using a purple Guillemon as your base. So when one of your other Digimon is deleted, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. So we have this Guillemon. That's when if this was deleted by an effect, gain a memory. You have this Guillemon that deletes one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, both players trash the top 2 cards of their deck. So on deletion is not bad there. And you have Guillemon's on play. If both player has 20 more cards in trash, this Digimon gains Rush for the turn. So Rush game statuses. Then they use Wizardmon because they are milling out your opponent. Everything in this deck basically mills something. You have like Growlmon here that gets to trash the top 2. Then you have the Black Growlmon that trashes the top 2 from both players' decks. So if you hit Wizardmon, you're pretty solid there. You have War Growlmon basically trashing the top 3. Same thing with Black War Growlmon. Both players trash the top 3 cards of the deck and then counts the totals to be able to blow something up. And then you have Megidramon himself. This card is treated as Chaos Gallantmon. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, trash the top 5 cards of both players' decks. You are on a time clock because basically what you're going to do is be milling your Death Stingers and Wizardmon to hope to extend your plays. Then you have like Chaos Gallantmon here. So you trash the end of turn by deleting one of your Digimon with Gallantmon in its name with a Digievolution card. Play this card without paying its memory cost. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 7,000 DP or less. For every 10 cards in both players' trash combined, add 2,000 DP to the maximum. But what's really nice is on deletion, you may play one Guillemon or Tocado from your trash. So basically what you're going to do is trade off with him, get Tocado in, and go for there. What I don't understand is this card here. I mean, yes, it can Digivolve for 6 on top of these guys. So it's not bad of a trade-off there. And then you just basically blitz for game, trashing the rest of it, and winning by Crimson mode. So I think being able to win with this deck after just realizing that I thought it was restricted to Gammamon, that was my bad. But we know what Death Stinger does. For every 10 cards, you get to maximize the level. Very quickly can this deck produce high numbers, so you'll be able to kill 7s with no time. But also, when it's milled, you get to gain 1 memory. And then you have Red Mem Boost to help search, and then you have Tocado for the Blitz. And that's really what you want. And there's just so much potential, it's not even funny. And then we did get the new Gammamon 14-person battle held on the 5th. Winner was with Gammamon, runner-up with Beelzemon X Antibody, Beelzemon X Antibody, and Red-Black Greymon on 4th. So, this is the Gammamon deck. There are probably going to be a lot better ways, but for its first release run, it's not bad, actually. Gauss Gammamon, we know the Gammamon line is going to be very interesting, but I think this is pretty solid. Whenever you play a Tamer, as long as this card is there, and basically in your Canos Wisemons, they'll have this effect, so your heroes will gain you draw advantages. This being able to swing into your opponent's unsuspended Digimon really does help control the board. Then you have Gammamon Promo that gives 2,000 DP. Then you have Gammamon from Rising Wind, basically giving 2,000 DP, but also searches out your Gammamons. You have Kaus Gammamon, basically giving you evade, gives you an extra protection turn. Then you have Wisen Gammamon for that blocker, Gauss Gammamon for that retaliation. You have Gauss Gammamon, so gets to, if they somehow kill your Gammamon, you get to play a Gammamon back out on the board, which really does help out. And then Blitz Gammamon, Raid for Gammamon, but also gets a free hero out of the deal, which is really useful. Canos Wisemon, just to get you the inheritables and all the fun abilities, and it gives your top end that. So this one gets you to warp on top of your level 4 Gammamons. Well, your regular Gammamon by putting another Gammamon underneath, which, as long as you're able to do that, you can warp into this. 4/3, by the way. That's not terrible. Then Arcturusmon, basically in here to combo in with Siriusmon to go into Paroxymon. Depending on the play, you can either go Digivolve onto this and then hope he dies and then go for the Sirius, trash the Sirius in hand, and then play a Paroxymon for free, or you can get Sirius to put Arcturus underneath, and then Paroxymon comes in for the Digi-Evolution cost of reduced to by 3. So that's another play there. Bear Claw, just for that draw advantage at plus 2,000 DP. The heroes line up, and the new hero basically gaining that memory draw every turn to extend your plays really does help out. And that's just how the deck wants to roll. I think this is very solid and probably a good foundation for Gammamon players. And then finally, we get the Diaboromon deck that probably a lot of people are highly interested in. So let's see where this one officially participated in Tamer, won with Otama-sama. Welcome, Diaboromon is the strongest. Congratulations. Nice. But let's see where this is going, shall we? So this is Quartz Diaboro. This is what you're trying to do here. Suspend all. What you're going to do is, because both of these will be Digimon that you can Digivolve on top of for that 6 cost. Suspend all Digimon except this, and suspend all Tamers. Then gain 1 memory for every 2 suspended Digimon and or Tamers in play. Since you're going to be spitting out tokens that can be suspended with Arata-sama going to be producing whenever one of your Digimon Digivolves into Diaboromon, suspend this Tamer to play 1 Diaboromon token. The more Aratas you have out, the more you can spit out. Quartzmon becomes freer and freer for this effect, because you're gaining for every 2 suspended Digimon. So let's say you spit out 6 tokens. What does that mean now, boys and girls? This is now 3 memory gain, which is fine, but then you count into your opponent's stuff. But all turns except this one, all Tamers cannot unsuspend. Suspend all Digimon and Tamers can suspend, but suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and or Tamers. Then for every 5 suspended Digimon and or Tamers in play, trash the top card of your opponent's security. So basically, since you're going to produce Digimon anyway through your tokens, you can build one up in Raising, get it out, spit out a mass amount of tokens, gain a bunch of value, and then boom! Now your opponent doesn't have any way out to deal with Quartzmon, because now you lock them down. And now you're getting free value out of Quartzmon because you're just going to keep spitting out tokens, especially because your next raising one will spit out a bunch more tokens, and then you'll win from there. The Quartzmon brings the Diaboromon deck into a playability state that it really wasn't before because it was just too slow. Now you're bringing them to your level with Quartzmon, slowing them down to a point where they're like, I can't do anything about this Quartzmon. If they cannot answer Quartzmon right away, boom, they're done. Nail and coffin, just straight up. There's nothing you can do against this deck once it gets rolling. And I think Diaboromon has so much potential, especially with, Hero giving it an extra DP boost just to keep its survivability. And what's really nasty is you can go into this Diaboromon and gain security +1, go +14, and hopefully that should be enough to clear out everything. If not, your Quartzmon is your other game plan. And then using Chimeramon is really interesting to me because what that means is, like, let's say you have Shademon was hidden security, and then you bring up your Kasurimon here. What's nasty is you can Chimera, take the Kasurimon, depending on which Kasurimon is there. I mean, if this is the Kasurimon in your trash as well, that means now you get to put 2 Kasurimons underneath your Chimera. And then when you go into Diaboromon here that produces 1 token, this errata will produce another token. That means 2 memory gain for that. So this is now 4 memory gain with 2 of these Kasurimons underneath. And, the Koramon's going to be there for the draw. That's a lot of potential. There's a lot of uniqueness here that you can do with this deck, which will throw your opponent off, especially with Chimeramon. I think is a very spicy tech because now it bridges the gap of maybe I didn't have the right way of getting stuff where I needed it to be, but now I have double memory gain, or I get rush and memory gain that I didn't have before. That's really going to make some game-changing moves, and it'll be very interesting to see how Diaboromon does with Quartzmon, especially with the knowledge of this deck's existence. So without further ado, hopefully, guys, you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!